Now, our next presenter is State Assemblywoman Cristina Garcia. Cristina Garcia has been called a force of nature, first as a dynamic community organizer and civic activist, and now as a new generation of leader in the California State Legislature, reflective of the cultural change as a state and the new realities of diverse population of color. Cristina Garcia has embraced her own communities with a message of hope and inclusion. She has demanded accountability in man-made environmental disasters like Exide and has pushed to make all levels of government more transparent and accountable to voters. In Sacramento, she crashed the Good Old Boys Network and is leading the way to empower women to take their seat at the table. She led the charge to update the definition of rape in light of Brock's Turner verdict, starting a national dialogue on both issues. As a vibrant new leader of promise, Cristina Garcia hasn't forgotten where she came from, but with purpose, she has also known where California should be going. So it is an honor to present Assemblywoman Cristina Garcia. Assemblywoman Garcia, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Bobby. I really appreciate it. I apologize, I got here a little bit late, trying to multitask.
Thank you for joining. We were wondering what happened to you. We were going to send out a search party soon.
I think like everyone else, we are here to be of service, but we still have families at home and, struggling with a little bit of taking care of some stuff. So, but anyways, thank you for your patience. I do appreciate the flexibility. And so I wanted to talk about AB 313, which I introduced this year, and give a little history to that and where I'm going, and hopefully continue to take your leadership and your partnership to create a system that is better and more inclusive in general and better reflects our society out there. When I first got elected 9 years ago, I knew that my job came with a lot of power and a lot of responsibility and a lot of opportunities. And so when I thought about inclusiveness and creating opportunities, I wanted to make sure that I had interns that reflected society and that those internships were not just me checking off a box, but allowed us to move into a situation where that internship could lead into a job with benefits and a pension and a retirement one day for community members in the disability community. And so soon after I got elected, I met Morel, who has been an intern in my office for quite a while now. And so after him coming into my office for about a year as my intern, we realized better what his skill set was, and we started to use that and take advantage of that in a positive way in our office and had him be a more engaged assistant. And we've made him a paid internships and paid intern since then. But the goal has always been the same. How do we take this opportunity that he's in a state office to help him carve a pathway into a job with the state, with benefits, with the pension, and with the retirement plan one day that is challenging him in a positive way and using his skills in the best way possible. And so in a lot of discussions with Morel, he was excited for that opportunity. He wants a job. He has said that he personally wants to be a janitor. That's something that he feels he's good at and he could thrive at. And so we've been working with him. We've been working through the LEAP process. We've been working with different advisors. We've been everyone and anyone that will talk to you like, how do I work the system? How do I make sure we follow the rules, but also ensure that he has a pathway in and could get one of these jobs? And it's been a handful of years and we haven't succeeded. And so it was that struggle that I've faced with Morel to try to correct that and make that a process that works and is easier to navigate for all folks that want this opportunity. And so we introduced first AB 3685, then AB 2328, and now AB 313 to try to take some of the recommendations that are out there from the task force so that we can create a process that works better for everyone and everyone can navigate. I always tell myself that you shouldn't need an assemblywoman to navigate a process, but usually that's enough to get it done. And this is a case where even though you have an assemblywoman helping and working in collaboration as partners with Morel, we haven't been able to figure this out. And so really frustrating to have to be part of a system and know that the system needs some adjustment and not have it done yet. but excited for the work that is being done by the task force that the governor has convened, and hopeful that, now that we are a year into COVID and we're multitasking a little bit better, we could focus both on recovery and moving forward from COVID, but also continuing with all the other work that was on our plate before the pandemic arrived, which includes things like improving our LEAP program.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Do you have a couple of moments to answer any questions?
Sure.
We have Ralph Black from Exide. Ralph, I see your hands up. Will you please unmute yourself and ask the Assemblywoman a question?
Good morning, Assemblymember Garcia. Not so much a question, but just a comment, and to thank you for persevering with this effort that many of us have been working on for a long time. And we're hopeful that through your authorship of AB 313 that we will be able to make some progress on some of these issues, both in terms of improving the LEAP program and also getting the state to take more seriously the statutes that require departments to have affirmative action programs for hiring people with disabilities, and establishing a statewide reasonable accommodation policy, and some of the other issues that are covered in the bill. And on behalf of Exide, which is one of the co-sponsors of the bill, we look forward to working with you on this effort. And I hope you can maybe prevail upon the administration to cooperate with us, and if there's an opportunity to discuss with them what we need to do to get the bill through so we don't get another veto again this time, that would be great.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate your organizations and your leadership on this, and everyone else's. This is something that we're going to continue to push forward. I hope this is the year we're finally successful. But I'm prepared to continue to fight for this as long as I need to. And I know that it's only one step, right? There's going to be more to be done. I want to get through this step so we can focus on additional steps based on all of the participants' experience and expertise to create a better system that's more just. I've spoken to family members, including Morel's mom and other members who are like, I just want to make sure my child has a pathway into a career and benefits and a pension when I'm gone, and what's going to happen then. And so I've made promises to those families that I was going to fight until we were successful. And I had a bill signed last year that took me 8 years to do, and we finally got it signed. And so I know that I will persevere eventually, hopefully this year, but I will stick by this as long as I have to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph, for that question. We have another question from Catherine Campisi. Catherine, will you please unmute and ask the Assemblywoman the question?
Sure. Actually, I think mine was for our previous speaker, but I want to also thank you very much, Assemblymember Garcia. We appreciate your commitment and your stick-to-itiveness. We hope it won't take that long, but it's really nice to know that we have a leader who's willing to speak on behalf of employment for people with disabilities. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, Assemblywoman Garcia, what is it that STAC can do to help you be successful in getting this AB 313 into a law?
It's the task force completing their work is really important. I know a number of the folks on your call are part of that work, and so I thank them for that. And I've been asking for a report. And so right now it's pushing the governor to release the information from the task force so that we can implement policy recommendations from there. And so whatever we can to collectively ask for that information to be released as soon as possible, the better I think we're going to be prepared to be successful this year.
What is the current status of that bill?
The bill was introduced. the Assembly is going to start hearing committee policy bills next week. And so it's been assigned to a committee. I'm not sure which one. So it's just started the process. We have until September 15th. We are prepared to move the vehicle in similar format as what got vetoed last year, not because we're not open to amendments. We're definitely open to amendments, but because we need the information from the task force so that our bill reflects some of those recommendations that people have worked on. And so really, I think we are not going to necessarily have so much problem moving a bill through. The question is, can I move a bill through that the governor will sign? And without the information from the task force being public, that becomes a little bit complicated because I'm literally just out in the dark guessing what might be in there. And so whatever collectively we could do to have the task force recommendations be released publicly is what's helpful.
And what can we do to make that happen?
I would definitely say if you know staff or the governor's team directly, asking them to release the information from the task force. That's the best way it could be helpful right now.
Great. Thank you so much. Do we have any other questions for Assemblywoman Garcia?
And I do have a budget hearing right now. So
Okay.
If you have other panelists, I could cede my time to them also.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I'm not going to keep you any longer than you need to be here. We really appreciate your presence and the helpful information that you generated. So thank you again for being here. And we will definitely support this bill and help you get this matter accomplished. Thanks again.
Thank you all for your leadership, not just on this bill, but everything you do for our community out there. Really appreciate you all.
Thank you.